Hello dear students. Welcome to your English lesson for grade 7. Our today's topic is planning holidays. My name is Iva Vilček and I will be your English teacher for today. At the end of today's lesson, you will be able to name vocabulary connected to the topic of traveling, identify necessary information by listening to a text, and write a plan for your trip using going to for future. For today's lesson, you will need a notebook, a pencil, a tablet or a mobile phone, and internet connection. Let's start our lesson by some questions. Where do you like going on holiday? Do you prefer summer holidays or winter holidays? Who usually plans your holiday? Do you always go to the same place? Which country would you like to visit and why? Take a moment to answer these questions and if necessary, pause the video. How to plan a holiday trip? There are two ways in which you can plan a trip. The first option is to visit a travel agency. This option is more expensive, but the easier one. However, when you choose this option, it sometimes means that you have to follow a plan made by someone else. Option 2 is to plan it yourself. Using this option, you can plan a trip that best suits your needs and desires, and it can also help you save some money. You can make your own schedule and plan your own activities. Which of these two options do you prefer? When planning a trip by yourself, there are certain things you have to take care of. The first one is budget. It is a good idea to know how much money you are willing to spend and then plan your trip and all the activities according to the given budget. Next, you have to choose the destination. Where are you going to travel? Then, how long are you going to stay there? Next thing you have to ask yourself is how are you going to get there? Then, you have to choose accommodation. Where are you going to stay? This also depends on your budget, but you have to include your needs. Last thing, you have to plan the activities. It is good to know exactly what you want to do or see, especially if you are going to another country and there are lots of things you want to see and you don't have much time available. Now that we have learned some vocabulary necessary for our today's lesson, let's do a quick revision activity before we move on to the next step. In the activity, you have to use words from the previous slide to fill in the sentences. You can pause the video now and copy this link to your device. In the activity, you have to use words budget, destination, duration, transport, accommodation, and activities. Let's take a look at the sentences together. First sentence. Have you already booked accommodation for your holiday? Yes, I have. I'm going to stay in an apartment. Sentence number 2. My dream holiday destination is India. Number 3. There are different types of transport you can use to get to London. Number 4. The budget for my trip is 500 euros. Number 5. With 2 days of traveling, total duration of my trip is 2 weeks. And number 6. I'm going to try lots of different activities on my holiday: bungee jumping, paragliding, and kite surfing. When you plan a trip, it is a good idea to make a mind map of all of the things you have to take care of. Here is a template of a mind map, and now I would like you to pause the video and copy this mind map into your notebooks and then fill it with your own ideas. Here is an example of a mind map I have made for my imaginary trip. As you can see, I have taken everything we have mentioned into account. Let's read some examples. I have put accommodation ideas here. Am I going to stay at a hotel, at a bed and breakfast, or at an apartment? Where am I going to go? Am I going to the seaside, to the mountains, or to a famous country? How am I going to get there? By plane, by bus, or maybe by car? How long am I going to stay there? 10 days, a week, 2 weeks, or maybe just a weekend? And what am I going to do? Should I go sightseeing, swimming, hiking, or am I just going to be relaxing? What's your dream holiday destination? Do you like going to the same place, or do you like going somewhere else every year? Do you prefer going to the seaside, to the countryside, or maybe to the mountains? Or you prefer famous tourist destinations such as London, Paris, or Rome? Think about it for a bit. Maybe you have some other ideas. When you choose a destination, you have to think of a way to get there. Maybe you can't get there by your personal car. What are some other possibilities? If you have chosen a faraway destination, it usually means you'll have to take a plane. This is usually the quickest way, and nowadays it doesn't have to be so expensive. Maybe you will travel by ship, or you will have to take a ferry if you're traveling on an island. You can also travel by train, or by bus or coach. Do you know what a coach is? It's a big, comfortable bus used for longer journeys. Here is a language tip, something you have to be careful about when talking about means of transport. We use by when we talk about general ways to travel, so you can travel by bike, by car, by bus. We also use by when we talk about the environment of traveling, so we can say we travel by air or by land. But when we talk about specific vehicles, we use on or in. We use on when we talk about vehicles on which we can sit, such as bike or a motorcycle, and we use on when we talk about vehicles in which we can stand or walk, a bus, a plane, a train, or a ship. We also say on foot. We use in when we talk about vehicles in which we have to sit, in a car, in a helicopter, or in a taxi. When we talk about accommodation, there are different types between which we can choose from, such as a hotel, a hostel, bed and breakfast, an apartment, a campsite, a resort. What is a resort? It's a famous place many people go to for different reasons, such as sport, recreation, or just rest. And a bed and breakfast is a room or a private house that includes sleeping and a morning meal. When we book accommodation, we also look for some things it has to offer, and we call these things facilities. For example, you can look for a place that offers single or double bedrooms. You can also choose a place that offers breakfast or the one that is all-inclusive, meaning it has every meal included in the price. Or you want to have your own kitchen to cook in. Nowadays, we all want to have free internet connection and we want our rooms to be air-conditioned. If you're traveling by car, you want to have free parking place and you can also choose between having your private bathroom or shared facilities. And finally, you have to plan your activities. What do you like doing on your holidays? This probably depends on your travel destination. Here is a list of some of activities you can do on your holiday. Going shopping, relaxing at the beach, sightseeing, resting, playing sports, eating local food, going to a concert, or visiting museums or galleries. You can now pause the video and write your list in your notebook. You can either order these activities from the one you like best to the one you like the least, or you can make your own list. To practice the vocabulary we have just learned, you're going to do a sort out activity. You can pause the video now and copy the link to your device. In the activity, you have to sort the given words into 5 categories: transport, activities, duration, accommodation, and facilities. Now we are going to listen to a dialogue connected to our topic. While listening, your task is to find the answers to these 5 questions. How is Laura going to travel to and around Croatia? Where is she going to stay? Why is her budget not going to be enough? Which interesting activities is she going to try? And how are Monica and her family going to spend their holidays? Listen carefully.
Hi Laura, what are you doing? Hi Monica, I'm planning my summer holidays. Where are you going this year? I'm going to visit Croatian coast. Oh, nice. How are you going to get there? I'm going to travel by plane to Zagreb. Then I'm going to take a train to Rijeka and then a bus. However, I'm going on some islands, so I might have to take a ferry too. Wow, you have everything planned out. Where are you going to stay? I haven't booked accommodation yet. Actually, I'm searching online just now. Your trip sounds expensive. How much money are you going to spend? Well, my budget for the whole trip is £1,000, but I'm afraid it's gonna be more than that because I'm going to travel around for more than 2 weeks. Are there any interesting activities you are going to try? Definitely. I'm going to try paragliding in Mali Lošinj, and then I'm going bungee jumping on Maslenica Bridge. I might also try ziplining in Lika, but I'm not sure about that yet. That sounds very interesting and scary at the same time. Well, you know me. How about you? Where are you going to spend your summer holidays? Unfortunately, this year I'm not going to travel abroad. We are going to visit our grandma in Liverpool. That's nice. I'm sure you'll have a great time.
Let's take a look at the answers. So the first question was, how is Laura going to get to Croatia? Laura is going to travel by plane to Zagreb, and then she's going to take a train and a bus. She might have to take a ferry too. Where is she going to stay? She hasn't booked accommodation yet. Why is her budget not going to be enough? Because she's going to travel around for more than 2 weeks. Which interesting activities is she going to try? She's going to try paragliding, bungee jumping, and maybe ziplining. And where are Monica and her family going to spend their holidays? They're going to spend their holidays in Liverpool at their grandma's house. Now take a look at the verb phrases written in blue. What are they made of? So they are made of present simple of the verb to be. So we have is and are in these sentences. They have going to, and they have the infinitive form of the main verb. Can you guess what these verb phrases mean? What do they express? Laura is going to travel by plane to Zagreb. She is going to travel around for more than 2 weeks. She's going to try paragliding. Monica and her family are going to spend holidays in Liverpool. So these verb phrases express future plans and intentions, and this verb form is called going to future. We use going to future to express our future plans and intentions, as I have already said. And let's take a look at some examples. I'm going to visit India. He's going to study medicine. We are going to see a film tonight. But this verb phrase is also used for predictions based on the present situation, so a consequence of a present situation. For instance, look at the sky. It is going to rain. Look at her. She's going to fall off her bike. And as I have already said, we make this verb form by using present simple of the verb to be, depending on the subject of the sentence. We use going to, and we use the infinitive form of the main verb. Dakle, ovaj glagolski oblik going to future koristimo za izražavanje budućih planova i namjera, te za izražavanje predviđanja, odnosno posljedica sadašnje situacije. Your task for the end of today's lesson is to write a plan for your summer holiday. You have to write 70 to 80 words. You have to use the vocabulary from today's lesson, as well as going to verb form. In your plan, you have to answer these 5 questions. Where are you going to travel? How are you going to get there? How long are you going to stay? Where are you going to stay? and what are you going to do or see. When you have finished writing, take a look at this self-assessment grid and see how many points you have satisfied with your plan. You have to assess 3 things: content, grammar, and vocabulary. When it comes to content, you have to see if you have answered all of the given questions, so all 5 questions. Grammar, you have to see if you have used going to future in your plan and if you have used it properly. And finally, you have to see if you have used the vocabulary connected to the topic. We have come to the end of our lesson. I hope you liked it. And until our next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. Goodbye.